It's the same old song and dance. The New York Islanders fall in a shootout, 2-1 to the Calgary Flames. Where have we heard this story before? Just rinse and repeat, copy and paste all my other podcasts, and you can pretty much sum up this one. Islanders fall 2-1, losing their first shootout of the year. So we've actually won two shootouts this year, which is double our output from last year, which was one. So I guess 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Meatloaf once put it in a great tune. So, uh, but the same part of the whole story and the whole song and dance is that once again we had a lead, and we had a lead going into the third period. Not a big lead, but a 1-0 lead, and we blew it again. So once again, the Islanders open with a 0-0 period, and I guess I should be happy for small favors that we're not behind after the first period. But this seems to be pretty commonplace for the Islanders to put up a 0-0 in the first period, and we were pretty badly outplayed in that first period. Actually, Calgary had 9 minutes of ozone possession time. Isles only had five. Now, even though even though the Flames did have 9 minutes, not a whole lot of it was very dangerous. But the point of the matter is it means that the Flames were beating us to every puck. They were winning all the board battles and everything. So, yeah. And it was you didn't need any analytics to let you know that it was 9 minutes to 5 minutes. Just your eyes could have easily told you that the Flames were dominating the ozone possession. So count our blessings, 0-0 after one, and we go into the second period, and a pleasant surprise early in the second period. Pierre Engvall scores for his third game in a row, netting his third goal from Mayfield and Cholowski. So, just a fantastic move by Engvall. It was a beauty toe drag, and it was a snipe of a shot. And he played really well tonight. We'll talk about him once we get to the player conversations, but really a beautiful goal by Engvall for sure. So then we just basically, I mean, there was moments where we pushed and whatnot, but you could tell we were almost turtling from 1-0. And I talking to the guys on the message board, and I said these guys are going to try to bring it home at 1-0, and it's just not going to happen. And sure enough, basically we go into the third period. Islanders have had two power plays, Flames have had none. You have to know. You have to know. It's basically NHL ref law that the team losing, and especially in that situation when they're being out power played, which they were because the Flames hadn't had one, you had to know they were going to get one. So the big question can from that point is, can our PK kill a power play or maybe two in the third period? And the answer is a resounding no, as the Flames go 1 for 1 on their power play. Now, here's the kicker to the whole thing, and we end up with three power plays because we get one in overtime as well. But the Flames have the same 13% power play percentage as the Islanders, but lo and behold, their 13% power play can score and ours can't. And it only took them one try. I remember this year it was the same thing against Anaheim. Anaheim hadn't scored in 28 contests and were last in the league in PK. They were behind us, and they went 2 for 2 against us in that game. And it's just not acceptable. It really isn't. And so anyway, the good news is that we walk out with a point. We got a point. So we'll take that for what it is right now. There's not much you can do, but accept your fate and go into overtime and hope that you can pull off a miracle and win a game. But in OT, we're 1-4 this year, and that would be because we're lacking our star power in Duclair and Barzell, who would help us tremendously in overtime. That would be for sure. So, but this is kind of brutal because we barely even have the puck in this overtime. I mean, Calgary controlled it for almost the entire time. The only time we controlled it was when we had the 4-on-3, and we still didn't do good enough on the 4-on-3. So I keep saying this over and over and over again. You have to squeeze the top down on the power play, especially 4-on-3. You can squeeze them right down, and then you just get in there and hack and whack. You can't be so far apart that when they've got that triangle set up, that if you put a shot in there, odds are now it becomes 3-on-1. If you're playing everybody to the outside on a 4-on-3, which the Islanders were doing, so sure, they're going to clear the puck. And that's exactly what happened. We got one puck in, poof, down the ice it went. So disappointing, but you know what? We're staying alive, as the Bee Gees would say. We are keeping afloat. We're still possible for leaving this road trip at 500 or even better, depending on how we can do against Detroit. If we could actually win a game, we would actually end up having a very successful road trip. As we are now, we're 1-1-2, which for me is a bonus. I was just hoping for 500 on this road trip because with our injuries and everything, so just kind of stay alive kind of deal. And so they're doing their thing. And if they pull out a win in Detroit, then it becomes a very successful road trip. All right. So let's talk about the guys tonight. So we first off we'll talk about Siplikov. For the very first time in 18 games tonight, I saw Max make a bad pass on an exit from our zone with a giveaway. And I was almost shocked, but there was no damage on the play because of it. And I'm certainly not going to come down on him for one giveaway in the 18 games that I've been watching. So other than that, I watched all the other things, the parts of his game tonight, and he's just a hitting machine. He just follows through on every check. He's great at forechecking. And yes, he did have a giveaway on a zone exit, but he had two fantastic zone exits tonight. One, he's so calm and cool when it comes to it, and and it becomes especially important because these zone exits that Max made, he absolutely 100% calmed the play down. We were getting pinned in our own end. He didn't panic. He calmed everything down, and before he knew it, the puck was out of our end. He did it not once, but twice. So, watching all the little things that Max does right, the hitting, the defense, he's excellent on the defensive side of the puck, and his offensive flair wasn't really there tonight. Still made some nice plays and whatnot, but not for him. He can do better than that. So other than that, though, still an okay game for Max. Simon Holmstrom. I thought it was a pretty average game. I'm going to say this about a lot of the Islanders tonight. It's there's no real highs or real big lows with most of these players here tonight because we really weren't that good. We were pretty ineffective, and to walk away with a point tonight, we should be happy. So I saw Holmstrom do a lot of good things right tonight. But nothing spectacular. We could use more out of him. We could use a little more scoring touch coming from him, but he's working his way out of that. He's gaining his confidence. So, uh, yeah. Other than that, I thought it was a pretty average game. I did think that Holmstrom and who's on his line there, Engvall, were 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 making it that line look pretty good tonight. And once I get to Casey, I'll talk about him later too. I thought he had one of his better games of the year tonight. So uh let's go to after Mr. Holmstrom, Bo Horvat. Man, I talked about him in previous podcasts. I geez, he blows a lot of easy passes. There was a 3-on-2 we had tonight. It was the simplest of passes. He wasn't even being pressured or anything. And it was a 3-on-2. He's leading up the middle and he's got to make a little dump. Little dump. There's not much room in between them, maybe 10 feet. Little backhand dump pass over to the left wing, and we get our zone entry, and it wasn't even close. The puck just rolled right off his stick and didn't even come anywhere near him. And I saw more than just that tonight. One things that I'm finding really frustrating about Bo Horvat, and I hope I can explain this properly, but to me, Bo Horvat is no doubt he is a goal scorer. He's a goal scorer because he has a good shot. He does have a good release and he works hard and he gets into position to score goals and whatnot, kind of like that. But at the same time, with saying that he's a goal scorer, he's not a finisher, if that makes any sense. He's not a natural goal scorer where the guy just dips doodles and makes it look real easy when he just plots it in the net. So there's a huge difference. And he had that big chance early in the game tonight, and he just basically put the puck right in the breadbasket of Wolf. I mean, it wasn't even close. Like at least try to deke him or something, do something. But that was so feeble. But that is parcel and part to how I say he's just not a finisher. And he is a goal scorer, but mano a mano, a lot of times the goaltenders will win. I don't think he's doing that great on the shootout for us either. But does anybody do good on the shootout? Uh, well, I guess everybody on other teams kind of does, but except for us. I'm not going to shit on Matt Martin as much as tonight as I normally do. I still don't think he helped us out on the ice at all tonight. I saw him make one really nice pass. The one thing I'll say for Matt tonight is we were hemmed in, the fourth line was hemmed in a lot less tonight than we normally are. And I even saw one shift where the fourth line actually hemmed them in for a bit. So, uh, on a positive, I guess that's it right there for Matt.
Matt got on the ice tonight for 9 minutes, which for me is just too much ice time for him. But like I said, this is actually I'll even go out on a limb and say this was probably his best game of the year. But that's not saying a whole lot of things. It's just saying that we weren't being hemmed in the entire time he was on the ice. Don't get me wrong, we still got hemmed in, but not as much. It was like the most we ever got hemmed in was like a half a shift or something with him tonight. So. I can live with that. And I always say the goal of the fourth line is to end up a zero on the plus minus. And that's what they did. So we'll chalk this one up as a good game for what Matt is capable of giving us. Pierre Engvall, wow, fantastic. Just fantastic. And I am not saying that because he has scored 3 goals in 3 games. Sure, that has a part to do with it. But he's just playing really, really well. Uh, I talked about Max and his breakouts. I counted not once, twice, three, but I counted 4 times tonight when we got hemmed in. And Engvall is the reason the puck got out of our end. And he shut down being hemmed in 4 times tonight. That's some great defensive play. He was flying out there. He was our big offensive push out there for the night. He was really pushing it, and I thought he just looked fantastic. He was doing all his defensive responsibilities well. His board work was good. He was flying, and in my opinion, he was probably the best Islander on the ice tonight. So. Keep up the good work, Pierre. Really, really solid. Got a plus tonight, 14 minutes of ice time. So that's good for Pierre. Picks up a point as well, getting the only goal. Gotta love that. Kyle Palmieri, I kind of thought that definitely the Horvat Lee Pajot line was our best line tonight, but I kind of thought that our second line was brought down by Palms a bit tonight. And that's kind of been the story of the second line for about the last 5 games now. We haven't been running on 3 full pistons. It was kind of like Brock was holding the line back, and I kind of felt like Kyle was holding the line back a little bit tonight. So he was the guy, he was the piston that wasn't really running that well tonight. I thought I thought the other two guys had really good games, but I mean, Palms picked it up. He had his moments. He did do some things, but overall, I thought he held the second line back a little bit, which made our first line our best line tonight. So
Yeah, there's that. Oliver Wahlstrom, just working his butt off tonight, just seriously working his butt off. Uh, he is checking like a demon out there. He's playing like a fourth liner. It, it's a good thing to see because he's learning his defensive responsibilities and everything. But it's you still have that hope deep inside. You know the guy is a goal scorer. To me, when you talk about like a natural goal scorer, even though Wallstrom has never hit the levels that Horvat has hit in the NHL, like Horvat's gotten in the high 30s, I still would say that Wally is more of a natural goal scorer than Bo is. And so I'm trying to get that comparison across. It's just it's a difference between them for sure. But overall, I thought Wally played pretty good, and you got 11 minutes of ice time tonight. So Patrick wasn't shying away from giving Wally a little extra ice time tonight. So it's nice to see. I saw the effort, so Patrick saw it as well. Anders Lee, nothing spectacular in the offensive department. Had a couple of chances. That quick spin around, and that was 100% on purpose. He did almost take Fox completely off guard, and that almost went in the net. That was early in the first period, and that. So, but Anders' board work and everything, it's just like he just so owns the boards. Like if Anders going in on the boards, he's winning. He's winning. He's gonna win. What's going on out there? So Anders is just still playing some great hockey, and uh like I said, he didn't have any points or anything to show for it. Obviously, we only got one goal tonight, but really, I thought he played really well. Brock Nelson, I'm starting to notice this is the third game now, even though nothing really happened in favor of Brock. I thought Brock was kind of flying out there tonight. He was kind of really tonight being the third time that I've started to notice him coming out of it. Tonight seemed like the biggest to me, that the biggest sign that he's coming out of it, and the old Brock, the flying Brock with the moves and the shot and the goal scoring is coming back. So like I said, so he returned at that time, and when he was down, it was half one piston down. You only got the other two going, and now he's up and Palms is kind of down a bit. So we'll see how that works out. Hopefully we can get all three of them in sync real soon. It would really be nice if we could get the top two lines flying together for the next 3 weeks while we wait for our boys to return. So that would be awesome. Kyle McLean, he had 10 minutes of ice time tonight. Obviously, the fourth line got a little more ice time tonight. And like I said, they didn't hurt us, so they were even. Still not McLean's best game. He didn't really stand out in a lot of ways, which a lot of times he normally does stand out with his play. I didn't really notice that much from him tonight. But like I said, at least the fourth line was doing their job tonight, and they looked a lot better doing it, getting hemmed in for a lot less time than they had been in the past games. So Pager, I thought had an excellent game. He's really on an 8-9 game heater right now. He's playing some really good hockey and winning a lot of face-offs, 21 minutes of ice time tonight. But I thought he was one of the big reasons that his line looked to be one of our best line tonight. So yeah, he was flying out there, making some good passes, playing his aggressive style that he usually does, getting in people's faces. So thought it was a good game by Pager tonight. Casey Cizikas, I thought, had one of his better games of the season tonight, and it shows in the plus minus with a +1 and 15 minutes of ice time. But I thought he was, you know, actually that third line of Cizikas, Holmstrom, and Engvall may have competed with the Pajot line as the top line tonight, and part and parcel of it was because Casey looked a little bit like old Casey. Not 100%, but I saw that tenacious forechecking again and the skating and the kind of Casey that I was used to seeing in the last decade or and some. So yeah, it was nice to see Casey come out and play better tonight. So good job, Casey. I think we're going to notice the biggest difference on defense tonight. Let's talk about Ryan Pollock. That guy is just a stud for us. I would not want anybody other than Ryan being Isaiah George's mentor. A perfect combo kind of guy, I think, for Isaiah to have with him. And Ryan's ice time's way down to just a little over 22 minutes. So what a huge asset it was to have Romy return tonight, and that's going to reflect in everybody's ice time and start putting our ice time for defensemen into a little better perspective. But Ryan was solid again tonight, like 100% defensively as per usual, but he was joining the rush quite a bit tonight. So really liked what I saw out of Ryan tonight. And I thought Isaiah, that kind of freed up Isaiah. These two guys were only 1 second apart in ice time tonight. That freed up Isaiah to not have to worry so much about the defensive side. But I noticed he still was worrying about the defensive side, which works out really great. Which why I think right now with what we've got in the D department, that's a magic pairing for us to probably try to keep together. So I thought they played well together. They complemented each other pretty well as well. I thought Noah he's still struggling in the defensive department. I mean, he logged 25 minutes of ice time for us tonight, but uh he was joining the play a bit, but not enough. We need more out of him than that. And it's just I hate to call it laziness in the defense end because it looks like it's laziness. It just he seems so nonchalant in the defensive zone, and to me that can be really concerning at times. So overall, he didn't hurt us tonight. He got like 3 shots on net. He was even tonight, but pretty much mostly everybody was because, well, you couldn't be a minus tonight because they scored theirs on a power play. You could only be a plus tonight if you were an Islander. However, you still have to earn those evens and pluses as well. So, yeah, there's that. So, Romanov, I thought had a fantastic return to the show. Uh, Man, he had 8 hits tonight, 3 block shots, 2 shots on net, 21 minutes of ice time, 26 shifts, no goals, no assists, across the board, no penalty minutes. What a fantastic thing it was to have him back, and he's so solid defensively. So it really shored up everything with the time on ice. As you can see, Romanov had 21 minutes of ice time, which is perfect for him. But the important part is bringing down like Scott Mayfield down to 17 minutes. Now remember, he was logging up to 23 minutes of ice time, so that's 6 minutes less. So and once again, Scott's a plus one for the night. He's just killing the plus minus board this year, and grabbed 2 minutes in penalties, which obviously hurt us pretty bad because that would be the goal scored against us. I thought the call was kind of weak, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter if it was going to be a weak call or not because due to NHL uh, without talking about this is in the secret rooms where the NHL likes to keep the game tight. There was going to be a power play no matter what. So I didn't really blame Scott for his penalty. I really didn't think it was one, but like I said, they were going to call one anyway. So pretty happy with Scott's game right now. 17 minutes of ice time, and he's a good guy to have with Cholowski, who is weak on the defensive side. So, but I can see Cholowski trying to work at the defensive side. At least I will give Cholowski that. He just makes a lot of bonehead errors at times, but he also I've seen him make some really smart plays and getting the puck out of our own end. So there's pluses and minuses with Dennis, but like I said, he's a plus one like Scotty tonight. So not many, only 5 Islanders can say that tonight. And he only had 14 minutes of ice time. He had been playing with less when we were really relying on Pulock logging 30 minutes and Dobson and that. But this is more kind of where he should be. I guess I don't mind. I would like to keep him down around the 12, 14 minute range somewhere, more around the 12 range. But overall, I thought he played pretty well. No complaints about Varley tonight. He was absolutely solid, 968 save percentage tonight. He got beat. I mean, the puck was being moved around pretty quick there on the power play, and yeah, it got by him, but he didn't have much of a chance on it. So had to be pretty happy with Varley. I'm never really 100% confident in Barley when it comes to shootouts. So they're tough. They're tough. It's not part of hockey anyway, and it's just lame. And whose was it? Sharon Govich's should have been blown down. You can't go backwards. And these guys are literally now pushing the bar that they're going backwards. When he cut back to go across the ice, he actually went backwards. And the definition of on a power play penalty shot, or not a power play, but a penalty shot, is the puck must be moving forward at all times. The second it stops moving forward, the whistle can be blown and the penalty shot is over. However, it's like traveling in the NBA, it seems now, and they're going to let them get away with that garbage. So I don't blame any goaltender on the shootouts. It's tough, and I don't blame any shooters on the shootouts either because it's tough. The it favors the goaltenders, but eventually the goaltenders are going to look bad because you can save 8, but you let 2 in, you're a bum. So yeah, that's kind of the way it goes. But for me, the biggest so that's it in a nutshell. We entered the game in ninth place in the division. I think we're going to roughly stay around there with just getting our 1 point. And that's key just to stay alive. But the thing that I noticed tonight, and it's been really flaring up in a lot of games that I've been watching, is just how bad the Islanders passing is. Like our guys. Now, I should preface this by saying the ice wasn't that great tonight. It was choppy and that, but good Lord, man. Like our passing is terrible. Nothing frustrates me more than the Islanders seem to love to do that little soft dump flip pass over a defenseman's stick when they're like 10 feet apart. I got news for you guys. It doesn't work anymore. 9 out of 10 times they bat it out of the air with their stick and the play is dead. Like I can't count how many times I see Islanders making passes into places that have zero chance of succeeding, yet they still dump the puck into that spot. And it's so frustrating, so frustrating. Our passing tonight was absolutely horrible. It's been bad for quite a few games this year. And I just the simplest of passes I'm talking here, folks. I'm not talking about anything fancy. I'm not pulling, you don't have to pull off a Wayne Gretzky saucer pass that lands perfect like a pancake right on the guy's stick. You don't have to do that. You just have to make a simple pass. And not only can you not make a simple pass, but you also can't pick one up. Now, I blame a lot of the players in the NHL not being able to pick up the puck because of the new material the sticks are made of, and they can't absorb the puck. The puck just bounces off them. But you guys are professionals, and I know it can be done because I've done it with those sticks. You can cradle it and actually get it to stay on your stick. So learn how to pick up a pass, half you guys. Jeez, holy moly. You guys are professionals for crying out loud. And man, it's not that hard to make a 15-foot pass. Like, brutal. Well, overall, that's about all I got for you tonight. Not too disappointed because we got a point and we're right on par for that 500 road trip. Hopefully, we can improve on that with a W in Detroit. That's about all I got for you tonight. Kind of disappointing once again to give up a third period lead, but hey, that's what it is. Barry Trotz always says we're in the points collecting business, and that's what we did tonight. So we're hanging in there till our guys return to the team. So, all you guys and girls out there, you all take care and peace out.